Okay, today we're going to be learning the halacha of if you're allowed to eat three items we're going to mention. If you're allowed to eat the peeled eggs that was left overnight, peeled garlic and peeled onions. Some people say, I'm telling you how people are looking at it first. Some people say it's not allowed to, and they're makpid on it. And some say we even see hashgacha agencies that sell peeled garlic that in bags, and they sell also peeled eggs in buckets or in small containers. So if it's not kosher, how come they give a kashrus on it? And if it's kosher, how come some people don't eat it? So I'm going to tell you where it starts, and we're going to go all the way to the poskim achronim. The Gemara in Nida Daf Yud Zayin, the Gemara says like this: Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, Hey dvorim hen she'oisa oisa mischayev benafshe v'domoy b'rosh. 5 things that whoever does them, is earning a death penalty and he's liable for it. I'm going to only read the 3 that nageh to us, what we mentioned. Ha'oichel shum kolof. Anybody that eating peeled garlic that was left overnight. Ubatzal kolof, peeled onion. Ubeitza kulufa, and peeled eggs. It was left overnight. If you eat them, God forbid, according to Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, you earn the death penalty and you're liable for it. Now the Gemara explains the oichel shum koluf. What kind of, we're talking about what kind of peeled garlic. Even though it's you put them in a bag, in a case, and you seal them, you close them. It's not open, but it's peeled. It says.
Does it explain why any of this, or does it explain the Gemara why?
The ruach ro shoyra aleim. There is a ruach ro. The minute looks like what protect them from ruach ro, the peel. But if the peels are not there, the ruach ro comes over there. Even then, when we say it's osur after you peel them, either you have to leave the heads of the garlic, of the onion, or the shells. You have to leave. Some saying the shells have to be on the mamash, not disconnect. Some say even after you take them, if you put them back, it helps. Aval shiur b'mikoron or kliposon les lamba. If you leave the heads, if you don't cut from the head, you leave. If you leave some shells on it, that's not a problem. Okay, so that's the Gemara, and that's why people are makpid. Those which is makpid. Adayem, a lot of people they would not eat any of those things peeled. Before you eat them, you peel them, and that's it. You leave them with their shells, with the heads on them. So why if that's the case, why the kashrus agencies, many of them, like I said, they do sell peeled garlic and peeled eggs.
Is this only in its complete form as an issue? Meaning if you mash it, is that...
Oh, we're going to go through them right now, but they sell it in a complete form.
Right.
And mainly it's also practiced by big commercial places like bakeries. A lot of times for them it's a big deal to start peeling the eggs, so they buy a bucket of a lot of eggs peeled already, and you could buy them in big groceries for home too. You could buy them smaller containers of peeled eggs. So the thing is like this. The reason many kashrus get giving a kashrus on it, because this what Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai said in the Gemara over here is not mentioned in many Rishonim. It's not mentioned in the main the poskim like the Rif, the Rosh. Doesn't mention directly. We're going to talk about the Rosh again in a minute. The Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah, they don't mention this. So they hold, since those poskim don't mention this halach in Shulchan Aruch, probably we're not worried about this ruach ra that the Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai was worried about, because a lot of things that we were concerned about them then, today we say we don't have this ruach ra, we don't have this shadim, and they mean maybe it doesn't apply today. And if you look Taka in Yeredeya Kuf Tezayin, it brings over there certain inyanim that we worried about them. One of them, I'm going to just read one of them. mashkim shenizgalu. There's another inyan if beverages, liquids that were left over overnight. Ostrom chachomim. Chum said, don't drink them. The chashin and shema shosa nochash mahem vitil b'am eres. Maybe a snake he drank from this liquid and he left over there is poison, and you're going to endanger yourself. So that's nothing spiritual so far. It's just physical. Maybe he left over there some poison. The case of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai with the eggs and garlic and onion, that was something ruach ra, something spiritual. Over here, this is physical. Then the Mechaber concludes, "V'achshov she'en nechoshim mutzuyim beneinu mutar." Now we don't have the snakes where we live, so you can even drink what was left overnight. That's what so they say something over here. Those poskim saying, since we don't have those ruach ra, they used to be among them. So all these things, there's no problem. So that's really the heter of, again, the kashrus agencies, why they're giving hashgacha. Now I want to say why those which is machmir, they doing this. It's not stamach chumra, they're doing it right. First of all, even though I'm going to talk now about three different groups of people, whether you're Sephardi, whether you're Ashkenazi, whether you're Chosid Chabad, all of them there is a reason to be makbid on it. I'm going to start with the Sephardim. The Pri Chodosh, he mentioned this, he's a poisek, and he mentioned this Gemara as Halacha. On this chapter, Kufte Zayin, if you look in the Pri Chodosh, he does mention this Gemara in Nida from Rashbi that you're not allowed to eat peeled eggs, peeled garlic, peeled onion. He's mentioning this. And the Kaf HaChaim bring this Halacha too. So that's, okay, you have a shaila. We're going to talk about why the Shulchan Aruch didn't mention it, why the Rambam. That's a good question, and we're going to talk about it. So Lamaisa, since they mentioned it, Poiskim Achrim, the Pri Chodesh, the Kaf HaChaim, so why you matter it? You follow the Sfadim follow the poskim, the Pri Chodesh, and they follow the Kaf HaChaim, and they bring it Lamaisa. It's osur. Anything was left overnight, it's osur. Now, for the Chasidei Chabad, the Alter Rebbe mentioned this in Choshen Mishpat. He's mentioning exactly this Gemara. Choshen Mishpat is mentioning it in Hilchas Shmiras Guf v'Nefesh Ubal Tashchis. He doesn't have much on Choshen Mishpat, but the little he has. It's Halacha Zayin. V'lo yochal shum koluf, a botzel koluf, a beitza klufa. Shover alem alayla, p'nei shiruach ro shoyra aleim. Mamash das Gemara, v'afilim tzrurim bebeged v'chasumim, im shir boim yikorom, v'aser shebarosh hashum v'abotzel, me'at kliposam mutorim. So it's exactly what we read in the Gemara. He mentioned the Gemara exactly the way it is. So according to, again, Pri Chodesh, Kaf HaChaim, and according to the Alter Rebbe, it's osur l'maisa. Then we have two latest Ashkenazi poskim that answering it. Aruch HaShulchan mentioning the same thing. Aruch HaShulchan in this chapter in Kuf Tes Zayin in Yoredeya. If I'm not mistaken, it's Halacha Chav Beis. He's mentioning it, and the Mishnah Berurah, he doesn't bring it in Mishnah Berurah, but in his Sefer Likutei Halachas Chavetz Chaim mentioning it, it's osur. So if you follow any of those poskim, whether you follow the Alter Rebbe, the Mishnah Berurah, the Aruch HaShulchan, the Kaf HaChaim, the Pri Chodesh, they're all saying Lamaisa, it's osur. Now, it's interesting. The Pischet Shuva over here does not talk directly over here on the eggs, but when he would talk about the snake, the Shulchan Aruch says the snake today we're not worried about that we don't have snakes and any liquid left overnight. You're allowed to. The Pischet Shuva brings from the Shloah Kodesh says like this: Ayen Shlosh Kosov the Mikol Mokem Shoymer Nafsha Yirchak Mizeh. Anybody that worried for his soul, he says, stay away from this, even though there's no snake. It looks like there is, when even Chum said there's a snake, there is something else, something spiritual over here that you don't want to get hurt by this leftover liquid. Maybe not physically, maybe spiritually. Then he brings like this. The Gro also was careful. Again, they don't talk about peeled eggs or garlic or onion. They talk about the Tosfos bring this heter. Since there's no snake among us today, so leftover liquid you allow. So they say no. Still, even though the reason is not shayach, there's no snake, you still don't drink this. So l'chayre could apply. They would hold the same thing about the garlic, about the onion, about the peeled eggs, even though maybe the ruach ra is not shayach to the, still shomer nafshe yirchak mem. There is something, there is some effect. I brought in the past, spoke about the shiur, about which is they talk about over here too, that the mechaber brings over here, you have to wash your hands between fish and meat, and eat something in between. So then the Ramah brings v'yesh omrim then lochush lezeh. So I'm saying, you don't have to worry about this unless it was cooked together. If not, you don't have to do this. So I brought a Maisa. There was a Talmud of the Alter Rebbe, Rabbi Isaac Homeler. One time he had by one of his Talmidim a Su'uda, some kind of siyum or whatever. They had a Su'uda. And Rabbi Isaac Homeler told him after eating the fish, let's wash the hands. And the son of this Gevir where the Su'uda took place says, what happens if I don't wash? So Rabbi Isaac Homeler told him, meshmatzach demels. You become a shumat. You go away from Yiddishkeit. And that's what happened to this boy. So we see from here, there's certain inyanim that love davke. The whole idea of fish and meat, that's mitzat poshut gesund. It's something physical. They say it's not healthy. So there is something, even Chazal telling us that mitzat gesund, there must be inner reason to it. Like Aruch HaShulchan brings in the halachas of Cholav Akum. He mentioned this in. He says when Chazal telling you a reason, sometimes the reason is not there, you still don't do it because there's a lot more under the surface, beneath the surface. There's a lot deeper in Yonim when Chazal asked it. So similarly, even though the Shulchan Aruch does not mention in the Shulchan Aruch does not mention the inyan of eating those three items, like I said, peeled garlic, onion. And because the Ruach Ra is not Motzu B'naynu, that's some poskim saying it, but there is still, if Chazal told us not to, there must be a reason over there. Like I mentioned, all this poskim achrim bring it's osur. Now, it's interesting, even though it looks on the surface like the Rosh also maskim that it's okay, there is, I'm not going to go through all of it, just one Tosfos. There's two Tosfos, one in Maseches Be'er, one Maseches Shabbos. The Tosfos mentioned this Derech Agav Lagabe Hilchas Yom Tov. Over there, they're talking about the halachas, what you're allowed to do on Yom Tov, whatever you cannot do before Yom Tov, if the food's not going to be fresh, not going to be as good, you're allowed to do on Yom Tov, tzorech echel nefesh. One of the things that discuss over there, are you allowed to crush your garlic on Yom Tov? So the Tosfos says two reasons to matir it. A, if you do it before, it's won't be fresh as if you do it right now. That's why you open it now, you crush it now. And the second reason Tosfos bring, here, shumin motorim letaknum b'yom tov below shinin v'nei shemiskalkelim b'yoyzer im yasa esomer of yom tov. It's going to get not as fresh as if we do today. V'oid damorinan. He quotes the Maseches Nida what we just learned. The ruach ra shoyre alem kshenitchanin b'layla. That answers your question. Even you crush them, ruach ra shoyre alem. So we see Tosfos Paskin in Masechet Shabbos. There's another Kuf Daf Kuf Mem Aleph, and the Rosh saying that. So you see a lot of Rishonim, but Derech Agav they do mention the Inyan of Ruach Ra even today. So it'd be awesome. Now there's other heterim, and people do if you mix it in other foods, not just crush them. If you mix them with other food already, if you put them in a salad, if you put them with the oil, that's already not by itself. That's people a lot of, there's a lot of like the Kaf HaChaim bring this heter. If you make a salad and over there you have onion and you have garlic and you have eggs, that's okay already because it's mixed with other food. That is okay.
What about salting it? Would that be enough?
Some I didn't see it inside, but some bring also salting and help. But again, what I saw from the Kaf HaChaim, it's mixing it. Now I just want to end with this, what Shevet HaLevi is saying about it. So Shevet HaLevi, he brings a lot of the different opinions over here. Then what he concludes, I'm just reading a few lines of his conclusion. Valken. Bevadai hanizar ashreloi v'tovolav brocha. Whoever is careful with this, not to eat those three items, peeled garlic, onion, and eggs, he says ashreloi v'tovolav brocha. You deserve a brocha for this. Dem chayshe lepashtus tashas the pashtus atoisus v'arosh anal. He's brought all these toisus, the rosh. I just mentioned some of them over here. The choishes to that shita, there's ruach ro on them. Kasher Redi Gadin Gam B'Shulchan Aruch Harav. That's the Alter Rebbe also brought this halacha l'maisa. So the choshet, it's not just. I'm not talking about now some just mystical. It brought in six Sifra halacha. It's also. אבל גם המקלים יש להם על מה לסמוך, עומד לסמוך, ואין בכוחנו למחוס על כל פונים, כנ"ל. We cannot rebuke them, we cannot say you're doing wrong, because they have who to rely on. So it comes out the conclusion, it's better not to rely. I think most people that use it, not because they're soymech and those poskim or the kashrus agent that says it's good, they just don't know, they're misinformed. If they would know, the ruach ra, what's the big deal to make the garlic now, the onion now, the eggs now? And Adrab, I saw in New York a lot of bakeries, one of the things when they promote, the advertising they promote, we have fresh eggs. What is that fresh? That means to say, we don't buy eggs in a bucket that was overnight. We peel them today and we use them today. So it's better to be, especially Elul now, people try to do things more mehuder. It's better to be machmer and those things.